to sigh in response. The clock struck the quarter hour. Time he was off. The open road was calling him to it as it so often did, and as always, he was powerless to resist. He took one last look around at his beloved curiosities. "Look after my girls." He waggled a warning finger. "They will need you, mark my words." The old man pulled the door closed on the shop and locked it. Then he made his way slowly up the dark street to the solicitor's office of Steele and Brannigan. An owl hooted. It was a clear night, the first hint of winter just discernible by the peppermint freshness in the air. Just in the nick of time. Augustus checked the seal on the thick brown envelope and posted his final instructions through the letterbox. "There," he said. "That's everything." As he strolled back the way he had come, he made sure to soak in the little high street, the home of his forebears, and commit it to memory. He glanced up at the darkened windows above the greengrocer's and acknowledged his wistfulness tinged with regret, or it may have merely been the steak and kidney pudding he'd had for supper repeating on him. He was what he was, and he was too old to fight against it now. He climbed into his trusty, crusty camper van, which had seen almost as many years as he had, and pulled slowly out of the village, following once more the siren call of fresh fields and far-off mountain roads waiting for him. 1. Present day. Maggie, Simone, and Star's father had died, as he'd always wanted to, quietly and without ceremony, in his beaten-up van in the middle of a forest in the Italian Alps. His age, like the rest of him, had always been an enigma, though it surprised nobody to learn that he had died just shy of his 96th birthday. Augustus was one of those curious beings who seemed always to have been old and yet equally never to have aged. In a handwritten note found tucked into his breast pocket, Augustus had bid farewell to his 3 estranged daughters and assured them that he had enjoyed a long and happy life, the memories of which he would carry with him into the next world. The very existence of the note had broken Star's heart. Maggie, the eldest of the 3, had called her discordant sisters as soon as she'd received the news of their father's passing. "But that means he knew he was going to die," Star, the youngest, had sobbed over the phone. Maggie, who as firstborn was unwillingly cast in the role of mater familias, tried her hardest to push conviction into her voice. "Not necessarily. He might have carried it around in his pocket for years, just in case," she soothed. "Dad never planned a thing in his life," Star sniffed loudly. "He was a free spirit. No, he knew he was going to die. I know it. It's too sad. I can't think about it." Simone, the middle of the North sisters, had been less demonstrative in her grief upon receiving Maggie's phone call, but Maggie could hear the shake in her voice. Was he alone when it happened?" Simone had asked. "I believe so, yes. But the doctor I spoke to assured me that he died peacefully in his sleep. That's something to be thankful for, isn't it?" It was hard to put a positive spin on the death of a parent, even one who had been absent for most of their lives, but she was giving it her best shot. "I suppose so," Simone had said. "I mean, I know we weren't close for the last 20-odd years, but even someone as careless with people as he was ought not to die alone. He wanted it that way. No fuss, just him and the mountains." Though it was the truth, saying the words didn't bring Maggie peace. The funeral took place on a bleak Tuesday in November. The fat rain and black pregnant clouds felt fitting for the occasion. Despite the weather, the whole of Rowan Thorp village had turned out to honour the man known affectionately by the locals as the Wizard of Rowan Tree Woods. Augustus had been roguish and charming and, quite frankly, a randy old bugger who was adored as